So let's talk about the Leupold first. And this pistol scope's been around for like the last 40 years. And when Leupold came into the market back in the late 1970s and basically took over the high-end optics market in the United States, the 2-power pistol scope was one of their first offerings. This scope is a 1-inch tube. It is 8 inches long and it weighs 6 ounces. But with the Weaver mounts add another 4 ounces. Steel, you know. Shockproof. Cost is $350, made by the Leupold company, and US made, very good scope for our use. Now once again, the field of view is 21 feet at 100 yards, and if you back off the eye relief to 13 inches, you get the full view of that 21 feet. But your eye relief can go all the way out to 23 inches. You just see less of the field of view, but still useful at that eye relief. The scope has 86 inches of elevation and windage adjustment at 100 yards. And it has the Leupold Gold Ring lifetime warranty. The exit pupil is 16 millimeters, so it's a very bright scope. Now for hunting, the Leupold is actually a superior scope because the Duplex is wider on the outside so that it leads your eye to the center much better, especially if the targets are in dusk conditions or in shadow, this kind of thing. But the center crosshair is every bit as fine as the Nikon. So shooters and reloaders, that is the view through the Leupold 2X at about 50 yards. And we're waiting for the jackrabbit to poke out from behind that bush so we can pick him off. Notice the Leupold Duplex Reticle, and that is a wire reticle in the second optical plane. Sharp American optics. So shooters and reloaders, notice the Nikon 2-power pistol scope, the view through there. And that reticle is a glass etch reticle, also in the second plane. And notice the very fine crosshair in the center, plus it's a bigger duplex in the center, more of a crosshair to look at. But the optics, of course, are very good, as we would expect from a company like Nikon. And we're just waiting for a possum to come sneaking through there so we can pick him off. Now the Nikon features 20 feet of field of view at 100 yards. The Leupold has 21 feet of field of view at 100 yards. Both have very good range of adjustability. Both have half-inch adjustment clicks on the elevation and windage. 2-power pistol scope is a little bit longer scope than the Leupold by like a 1/4 inch, and it's a little bit heavier. Instead of 6 ounces, this scope weighs 7.4 ounces, so it's heavier by 1.4 ounces. The eye pupil is 10 millimeters, so it's actually not quite as bright, but the 10 millimeters is plenty. Our eye can't use more than that. Now this scope features 120 inches of adjustment in elevation and windage at 100 yards, so it has about 40 more inches of total adjustability to help zero in the scope. But the thing is, if you're off by that much, we probably need to make some adjustments on the mounts. Now with the same scope mount as on the Leupold, adding another 4 ounces, this weighs 11.5 ounces, so it adds a lot of weight to the gun, but that's fine for a .357 Magnum revolver. This has a glass etch reticle, and it has the limited factory lifetime Nikon warranty. So you'll have to look up the exact details on that, but apparently it's not quite as rock solid a warranty as the Leupold. The cost of the Nikon scope is $189, say about $200. So for Japanese optics, it's less expensive than the Leupold, and it's a good scope as well. I would rate both these scopes at good values, and if you really want to buy the American, that's the way to go, the Leupold. And if you like Japanese optics, then the Nikon's the way to go. I know that the Nikon Bushmaster scopes are very popular here for rifle shooting. And the eye relief on this scope is rated at anywhere from 13 inches out to 22 inches. So it's very handy. And when I use both of these scopes, this one seems to me to have a larger field of view. When you look in there and you find a sweet spot, the overall amount of view that you have seems to be more with this scope than the Leupold. Overall, in the area of usability and usefulness, I would say that both of these two scopes would satisfy the most discriminating of American shooters, hunters, and pistoleros. Bye for now.